did you get that outfit? Right? You are your biggest critic. You know, you're always telling yourself, I can't do this, or this is not right, or this is not perfect. There is no such thing as perfection. And once you learn to stop speaking negatively about yourself, or stop speaking negatively about anything, you know, you're going to open up a whole new world to yourself. So I say, look at that. Stop speaking negatively about yourself. I know you guys have heard this. Is the jar half empty or is the jar half full, right? Mm-hmm. So I always try to think about the jar being half full. No matter what's going on, no matter how bad it seems, I always try to take the time to think about the positive side of it. Because there's always a positive side to everything. Sometimes you don't see it immediately. Sometimes you don't understand, like, why is this happening to me? You know, I just don't understand. What can I do to fix this situation? And it doesn't come to you immediately, right? But if you take some time, you sleep on it, or you just take some time to really, really think about it, you come up with a solution, right? That's what it means, to think of the glass as half full. There's a solution to every single problem. So just take some time, work through it, right? And tell yourself, this too shall pass. No matter what it is, this too shall pass. Stop being so hard on yourself. Just keep it moving, right? And the other thing I learned is to stop playing small. And what I mean about that is, have you ever wanted to do something, but you figured it would just be too hard? It's going to be too hard to do this. That's going to take too much time, right? I'm not going to do that. But you know what? There's so many other people that are like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to step up to the plate, and I'm going to get it done, right? That's what I mean about stop playing small. Get out there and do those big things that seem scary, that seem frustrating, that seem too hard to reach. Do them anyway. Stop playing small because there's greater reward. The greater the risk, the greater the reward. You know? So who can give me an example of something that they've been like, I can't do that? Anybody want to share something? Nobody? You guys are afraid to say, I'm not the only one, right? Okay, I'll go. So I thought that I would never, I never really thought I would start a business, to be honest. Let's go with buying a house. Thought that I would never buy a house, right? And there were so many people that were like, how are you gonna do this? How are you gonna make this happen? You know, oh, it's so hard to be a homeowner, to be a single woman owning a home. Maybe you should just rent. Everything will be taken care of for you. Or there were just so many things that people were saying. And I'm like, no, I think I can do it. This was before I had good credit. This was before I had any money. I decided that this was what I wanted to do. And it was such a big goal. It was just way out there. I had no idea how I was going to get it done. So I started going to open houses, right? You guys know what open houses are, right? You see little signs on the corner, sweep over, and I'm like, go look at this house. And I was told, you know what, you need to stop doing that. Because you're going to find a house, you're going to fall in love with it, and you're not going to be able to get it. But you know what? That's the difference between a dreamer and a non-dreamer. Because I didn't think of it that way. I looked at it as, well, if I go to these open houses and I find my dream house, it's going to motivate me even more to get my credit in order, to get the money that I need to do it. And that's what happened. When I started the process, I was nowhere near where I needed to be, right? But I just started taking small, actionable steps, little by little. My credit score started to increase. I started to save more money because I'm a spender. I like to just, shop for things I don't need. But little by little, things happened, and I was finally able to do it, right? So that's an example of not playing small. That's an example of getting out there and doing something that you have no idea how you're going to make it happen. You don't have a clue. but you know that you are going to make it happen, regardless, right? Right. So I also like to talk about creating your own opportunities. And that's why I was speaking with your teacher, just asking, is anyone in here interested in starting a business? Or, has it crossed anyone's mind to be an entrepreneur? Yes? Anyone thinking about it? Maybe? Yes? What type of business are you thinking about starting? No idea.
I just want to be my own boss.
Right? Okay, cool. Anybody else? Yes?
Sort of like crisis management.
Crisis management? Oh, that's great. I love it. Love it. Anybody else? Or are you guys just afraid that I'm going to call you?
Face your fear.
So when I lost my job at Fox and I was laid off, I was already on a leave of absence, right? Because it was just a really stressful situation. I was kind of bumping heads with my boss, and that's when I was thinking I needed to be my own boss. But I would say 3 days before I was supposed to return to work, I got a call from my job, but not from my boss, not from my supervisor, not a manager. I got a call from my coworkers, and they were all frantic. Oh my God, Nikola, we're getting laid off. They're laying everyone off. We don't have a job anymore. So I went back to work for 3 days, 2.5 really. And at that point, there was no even logging in. There was nothing that could be done. So I literally sat there for 2.5 days getting paid. But at that point, I had to make a decision. Was I gonna look for another job? Or was I gonna finally say, hey, this is it? Maybe this is, just another weird way, another weird sign that you're supposed to be doing this. I had started the wedding and event planning business, but I wasn't doing anything with it. I was doing it on the side, but nothing major. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna go for it, right? So I decided I'm not gonna look for another job. I'm gonna go for it. So that's what I did. I went full force on my wedding and event planning business. After a while, I think I got a little nervous. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna apply for a job. Maybe I'll do something part-time, or maybe I will go back to work. Every now and then, I have those thoughts, because it's much easier to just go get a paycheck, I applied for jobs numerous times. I think I have probably, in that time frame, mind you, this is about 3 or so years ago, never really got a call for an interview, And I was like, well, what's going on here? I have the qualifications for the job, everything seems in line, never got a call for an interview. So, again, I believe in signs. It's not time for me to go back to work. And you know what? Maybe I need to create the opportunities for myself. The things that I think that I need someone else to give to me, maybe I can create those opportunities for myself. And that's what I did. Because sometimes the opportunity is not always going to be there. Sometimes it just may not be the right opportunity. There's something that you want. Has there ever been something that you want, that you really, really wanted, and you didn't get? Show of hands. Anybody? You really wanted it, you didn't get it, right? Well, guess what? There is no such thing as you're not getting what you're supposed to have. I truly believe that what's meant for you will never pass you by, right? So if there was a job that you wanted, or a school that you wanted to go to, a certain cupcake you wanted, I don't know, you didn't get it. It wasn't meant to be, and it's not something for you to get down on. It's something for you to take a step back and say, okay, well, why didn't this opportunity come through for me? But what can I do to flip this situation around and make it work in my benefit? So that's always something to have in the back of your mind. Maybe you want to work, you want to go out and get a job, but maybe you want to have a business on the side where you're just creating further opportunities for yourself, right? There's nothing set in stone. No one says that you have to work for someone else. No one says that you have to start a business. It's all about what you want to do and what's best for you, right? And again, you are in control of that. You have the right to say, this is more action. That's another principle that I live by, because I am probably the worst procrastinator, okay? My boyfriend will tell you I will not be ready. If he says be here by 8, I will be ready at 8:30, right? I'm just a procrastinator. But what I've learned is I have to stop talking about the things that I want to do and just start doing those things, right? We get to a point where we're like, oh, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and then we don't do any of it, right? Is that going to get us anywhere? No. We have to stop talking about the things that we want, and we have to start doing those things, right? I'll give you a perfect example. I work with a lot of small business owners, and you know, they want to grow their business, they want to do this, so we take a lot of classes, you know, read a lot of books, attend a lot of webinars and things like that, and we're storing up all this information, we're jotting down notes. I see you guys write notes, right? But what are you going to do with those notes? Are you going to go back and review those notes? Are you going to start taking action on those notes? Because I know you guys are writing some amazing things now, and I can see the wheels turning in your head, like, okay, she talked to me and I think I might want to start my own business, right? Let's not just talk about it. Let's start taking the necessary steps to make it happen. What do you have to do to get to that first goal, whatever it is that you have written on that paper? What do you have to do to make that happen, right? How can we stop talking about it and actually start taking the initiative? Start executing. Don't be that person taking 1 million classes, reading 1 million books, attending 1 million webinars and events and things like that, but never taking action. If you want to get anywhere in life, take action. It doesn't have to be perfect action. I know a lot of people want to wait until things are perfect. I'm going to wait until the timing is right, so the timing is perfect, until the situation is perfect, until my money is perfect. There is no such thing as something being perfect. There will never be a right time. Never. I take that back. There will be a right time. Now. Right? Now is the right time. Regardless of what's going on, now is the right time. Right? So let's talk more action. Okay, I'm good, because I know I have to give like 15 minutes for Q&A, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, we're flexible, yeah.
Okay. This is one more, guys. I'm sorry. This is a big one. Get out of your own way.
Oh.
Come on. I want to know. What's going on? Are you in your own way?
Huh?
Because you said, oh, like, yes, I'm in my way.
I agree.
Yes?
I agree with that.
Get out of your own way. Again, you could not tell in this picture that I had just had that metal thing taken off my foot, could you? Well, I know my feet are cut off,
Photoshop.
you can't tell. I'm happy, I'm smiling, I did it. This is my first event for my business. And before I did that, I told myself so many times, I couldn't do it, you know? I said this before, I couldn't do it, no one's gonna take me seriously, you know? I did it anyway. I got out of my own way, and I did it. I told myself that I could do it. After I told myself, girl, nobody's gonna listen to you. I went out and I did it, and I thought, you know, it was gonna be horrible. I had a great turnout. You know, people came out, they listened. It was good. I had to get out of my own way in order to do it. This goes back to being your biggest critic. Stop being your biggest critic. Stop thinking that it's not going to work out. It's going to work out, right? Even if you attempt to do something and it's not perfect, it's okay. Do it anyway. But if you decide you're not even going to try, you're standing in your own way, right? So this goes back to talking about being an entrepreneur, right? And this doesn't go for everyone, but this was my way of thinking. I was working at Fox Sports. It was a great job, easy job, pretty good money, you know. But guess what? I was not happy there. You know, money doesn't mean everything. I wasn't happy. I didn't feel like I was living my passion. I was not passionate. I don't even watch sports. Okay, I went to the Super Bowl party yesterday. I had no idea what was going on. I was there for the Beyonce concert. But I was not happy. I felt so unfulfilled. There was really no room for advancement in my position, you know, so I was like, I'm just gonna, especially when that 4-year itch hit, I was like, oh my God, I have to get out of here. So I felt like my dream job at that time, it didn't exist. And so I created my dream job. What I'm doing now, I love working with small business owners and teaching other people how to start a business. Do you know how many people are so passionate about starting their own business, but they're afraid to take a move on it? They're afraid of what's going to happen, and I speak to these people all the time. And I was just in their position just a few years ago. I was that woman that was sitting at her desk like, oh my God, I have to go to this place again with a cubicle and no window, and my boss is going to be, you know, down my throat. But I knew that there was something bigger and better for me, and starting my own business was the bigger and better for me. And again, I'm not here to say, don't go to work. Go to work. Please go to work. Because you have to do it first before you can say that it's not for you, right? So again, I'm not here saying don't go to work, but it just wasn't the right thing for me. And I want you guys to understand that it may not be the right thing for you, but it may, you know, but you have to try it out for you to know if it's for you or not, okay? So I won't even go into the insecurity of job security. That's a whole other thing. But I will just say, you know, having your own business has a lot of benefits. You know, I get to work from home. If I don't feel like it, I put on my pajamas. Let me tell you a little secret. In case you ever come across an event or something, and don't tell anybody else this, okay? But when I teach webinars and classes, so I'm sitting in front of my computer, right? So you can see me like from here up. I am cute at the top. I'm cute at the top. I have my hair done, have a little makeup on, cute little shirt. Got some pajama pants down here, okay? Don't tell anybody that. That's our little secret. But it's just one of the perks of working from home or working for myself, you know. I get to set my own hours, set my own schedule. And the best thing about it for me is that I get to spend a lot of time with my daughters. When I got laid off, let me go back. Prior to getting laid off, and part of the reason that I was off work before the layoff is because my daughters were starting preschool. They were turning 4 years old, they were starting preschool. And I went to my boss and I explained, hey, my girls are finally there, they're gonna start school. I'm so excited, their first day of school is on this date. And I can't wait to drop them off, be that mom, right? And you know what they told me? Sorry, we can't give you the day off. Say, what? You know, I can't miss this day. Like, this is too big for me. I was so excited. And I had to figure out, like, how was I gonna do it? From that point on, I knew that I had to make this work. You know, I had to make it work for me because that wasn't the lifestyle that I saw for myself. I wanted to be a big part of my daughter's lives. And now I get to do that. I'm that parent that's always at parent conference. I'm almost at all of the meetings. Some of them are just a little bit too boring, but I'm almost at all of the meetings. I'm going on a field trip tomorrow, okay? So I'm gonna be there with 21 first graders. No, I'm sorry, second graders. 21 second graders, okay? So you guys pray for me.